Quand on essaie ça.
African woman, confident woman, a special woman, beautiful woman. I cannot deny African women, they strong. She's on fire. She's a blessing for my boo. A cultural woman. She is a royal woman. A loving and caring mother. Hey, Mama Africa. She did for Zambia. She did for Zimbabwe. She did for Senegal. Mama Africa. Black is beautiful. So beautiful. So adorable, you know. What a beauty to behold. Black is beautiful. Black is beautiful. So adorable, you know. What a beauty to behold. African woman. Confident woman, a special woman, beautiful woman. I'm loving her vibing, beautiful woman. She is enticing. She is enticing. Strong African woman. Hey, she is a full package. Very special woman. A special kind of body with a heaven's package. Liberia, Rwanda, Nigeria, Uganda, Africa, Mama Africa, Tanzania, Madagascar, Kenya, South Africa, Ethiopia, Namibia. We not forget Algeria, Ghana, Somalia, Angola. Black is beautiful, so beautiful, so adorable, you know. What a beauty to behold. Black is beautiful. Black is beautiful, so adorable, you know. What a beauty to behold. African woman, confident woman, a special woman, beautiful woman. Package, Liberia, Rwanda,
sorry for the
Nigeria,
breaking
Uganda, Africa, Mama Africa, Tanzania, Madagascar, Kenya, South Africa, Ethiopia, Namibia. We not forget Algeria, Ghana, Somalia, Angola. Black is beautiful, so beautiful, so adorable, you know. What a beauty to behold. Black is beautiful, black is beautiful, so adorable, you know. What a beauty to behold. African woman, confident woman, a special woman, beautiful woman.
Hey, y'all, hello, y'all, welcome to Split Talk, the Ninth Generation. I see you guys in the house. If you love our show, if you want to share the video for us, thank you for joining us. My name is Grace Goa. I am the president of Liberian Women Advocacy Network International. I'm also a member of the Legacy Holding Foundation, and these two organizations work with education and also women's rights and against domestic violence and abuse here in the States and also in Liberia. And my co-host is Vera Adi. Vera, can you introduce yourself?
Good evening. My name is Vera Adi, and I'm the Vice President for Liberian Women Advocacy Network International. As usual, I'm glad to be on this evening, and thanks to all of our listeners out there. Thanks for the support. Thanks for tuning in every Sunday and joining us in supporting us on the topics that we discuss here on this social platform, Split Talk, which is the platform for Liberian Women Advocacy Network International.
And we come here every Sunday at 7 p.m. We come to talk social issues. You know, it's one thing when we do our advocacy work, we on, Liberian Women Advocacy page. Then when we start to talk about all the other things about rape, domestic violence, abuse, and stuff like that. When we come on this platform, we talk about social issues in the world. what people go through in their lives and stuff like that. So today we're going to be talking about impersonation. Impersonation, that's the topic today. So impersonation in your career, impersonation in your business, and impersonation as a person. Let me just define impersonation for you. Impersonation is the act of pretending to be somebody who you're not. Now, people can impersonate in different ways. You can impersonate for entertainment. You can be married and you start to impersonate. You say, okay, I'm married, but today I changed to a man, so I'm acting like Steve Harvey. That's an impersonation, but it's a good entertainment impersonation. Now, impersonation in your career as a person, and if you're impersonating to commit fraud, and you're impersonating to, let's say, pretend to be another person to bring all something evil to another person, then that's they call it criminal impersonation. So today we'll be focusing on the criminal part of impersonation, because we're not talking about impersonation just to make fun, but when you start to impersonate to be somebody else and you start to do fraudulent things and do things that you're not supposed to do, then that is criminal, and it has a crime is leveled against it, and then you will have to go to jail for that. So that's the impersonation we are talking about. Impersonation can be harmful. It can be harmful to people careers. It can be harmful to a person as a whole. I'm Grace. If you go and start impersonating me, and maybe you take my identity, and you take my social security number, you take my birthday, you start to use my name, you start to go and get stuff in my name, you start to attack people as you me, then you impersonating me, I can level, or I can call the police and press charges against you for that. And that's the impersonation we're going to discuss here today. You can be sued for it. You can also, there's I think six, is it in other states here in America, there are 6 different charges that can be leveled against it. When you are sued for it, you can go to jail for at least 3 years if you impersonate to be somebody else and you destroy the name and the information and the character and everything. A lot of people on Facebook do impersonation like hell. Sometimes they go and open another page and they start to act like they one person, and they got a real page which they are one person, and then they got another page which there's somebody else. Then they start to attack you from that page like somebody else, that impersonation. Now you can have 2 pages. You can have 2 pages, but everybody will know you are the person that owns those 2 pages. But when you have 2 pages and you start to act like somebody else on the other page, who you're not, and then you one person on the other page, that impersonation. If you insult somebody, I just wanted to get that information out there. If somebody go on another page and start to insult you and start to maybe lie on your name, you can press charges against them in America. Here you can sue. That's a criminal offense. People don't know you can sue them. That's a criminal offense, because they're impersonating to be somebody else and they're destroying your character. So I was reading about impersonation. That's why I got. But in our Liberian setting, the criminal impersonation is very, very highly level. They're doing it here in the States. I heard a story where they have, especially when it comes to the Indians, the people from India, they say most of them, it's just they say, I don't have no proof to that. That's my disclaimer. But I heard that most of them can come from India with all this fake paperwork that they are doctors, and you can get that paperwork in India like that. And then when they come here, because they are smart people, they go and take the test and they pass the test. They go and take the step. When they pass the step, when they start to learn on the job, not knowing they were never even doctors. They never went to school to be a doctor or nothing. And they impersonate. That's why you see most time people get, or sicknesses from hospitals, or sicknesses, they get harmed. So you go and do a surgery, and the person took their step, but they call in a doctor, and they say the doctor for this and doctor for that. They just went and did two or student study with another doctor doing that surgery, but being that they're a doctor and they knew to have gone to school for that, and they go and start to operate on you, and then they call them student doctor. They say, oh, they came from India, they're a doctor, and then they go operate on you, they spoil you before you know. They were impersonating to be a doctor, and they never actually went to school for that. But because the world is a funny place that when you can pass a test, you can just go and start to study and pass a test, and then they put you in the position that where we are. So you have to be careful with people like that. That's why most time I tell people, if you have a primary care doctor, or you like to do surgery, to maybe go do your gastro bypass surgery, or maybe you want to do your face lift. A lot of people doing those things now. I'm so scared. I can never try that. I would be mean like this till God call me. But some people, some people doing their face lift and they're doing their gastro bypass surgery. They just say, oh, their friend told them about the doctor, and they never check the doctor, or you have to go online, research the doctor, go to the hospital he's in, go check and see, get information, ask the people for information. It's your right. You ask people for information. I need to know about this doctor. I want some information for him. What is his experience level? How long he been doing this surgery for? You want to know that. I have one of my family members to do surgery before in the neck, and I went and I started researching the doctor. I did a research on him. He had done almost 175 of that kind of surgery, and he never had any mishap in the surgery. So I was able to say, yes, you know what, this doctor, I would recommend him for my cousin to go and do her surgery. And she came out with flying colors, and for a neck or a problem. So all those things, and you have to be careful with those things when you trying to find doctors or people in positions and stuff like that. Because some people will level their position on you, and then you look, it's not the case. But we will go into that. We'll let Rock come in because this is an introduction. You want to stay here and you want to share the video because we are coming hard. The impersonating in the Liberian community is a lot. Everybody got ownership of degrees and experience on job qualification that they never even went through. The internet have made it so stink. It's not even funny. They will come and say, oh, yes, I this and I that, and not knowing they never even went to first year school in it. That's impersonation. You are lying to the public. It's not fair to other people. And some people are carried away because Liberians are visual people who don't like to read. You don't like to research. And people come here and they lie to us. And that's how our country is being destroyed today. Because a lot of people there are impersonating to be who they're not in their careers, in their businesses. They lie and they say they're this person and they're not. And most of them here in the States are going to prison for that because they impersonate on the internet that they want thing and the people trust them and they can't deliver. It's a problem. America is not playing with that anymore. A lot of people are in jail for impersonating. So we just wanted to put that information out there where you can come in and then I will come on and level my stuff.
Yeah, but just like you said, impersonation is basically false identity. And we do have a lot of that within the Liberian society, and we are Liberians. So most of the time when we talk about our own communities and the communities within the diaspora. So specifically in Liberia, a lot of people are dying, and a lot of people are dying at the hands of those who claim that they are doctors. And those doctors are people who left from the diaspora and went into Liberia. Some of them were CNA, they were certified nurses aid. Some of them were GNAs, they were geriatric nurses. Some of them were RNs, and some of them were registered nurses, correctly, and licensed practical nurses correctly. But most of them were nurses aid. I heard a story one time where a man that was a nurse's aide in New York, left from New York and went to Liberia to go live. And lo and behold, he's a big doctor there. He's giving people medication, prescribing medication, checking people. I mean, in the hospital, it's like, when did he become a doctor to do that in Liberia? And because of that, most of our people are dying. And
Yeah.
because we Liberians in Liberia, when somebody come from America and say, oh, I'm a doctor, they don't even do any kind of research. I'm so glad nowadays that people are digging, there are people out there researching people and qualifications and the degrees and the academic, the academic paper. I'm glad that people are doing it because even back in the day, normal time, people used to do that when there was no war. Prior to the war in Liberia, a lot of people did that. When your parents sent you to America and you come to America here and you waste all your parents' money and you buy a degree from here, you carry Liberia. They say, oh, the person went Liberia and they got a degree. At that time, it was not widely known that people could buy degrees online and all those kinds of things.
Beside that, bro, beside them buying the degree before I cut you off, they were buying diplomas from the dollar store. They used to sell diplomas in the dollar store and they would buy it and type their name on it and say they got degree from
And
it.
they
And they
also
go ahead, mommy.
and take it back home and say, oh, I got this certification, I got this degree, and I got that degree. And all those things were lies. Those were all impersonations. And because of that, it harmed the country. It really harmed the country. And nowadays in Liberia, it has reached a height where everybody just lying now. Everybody is doctor, to the point that everybody going to get fake degrees just to be a doctor, just to be called a doctor, just to be called something that you are not. Whether it's an educational doctor or whether it's a medical doctor, everybody just lying for status. And it has to stop. It has to stop. Like you said, people can impersonate for fun, people can impersonate for entertainment purposes. But the point where you will get to and start impersonating a career, a particular career that is harmful to people, harmful to the citizens of the nation, that's criminal. And I think the people who sit in the seat of authority has to look at all those criteria. But then again, the people who sit in the seat of authority behind it, because they themselves have impersonated so many things till they don't even want to go dig behind somebody else before somebody else start digging behind them. So but we as citizens, it is on us to check behind these things. And also you mentioned people who are on Facebook now. We got political analysts now on Facebook. People on Facebook impersonating to be political analysts. We got so much journalists now on Facebook. It's not even funny. I mean, we got so many things on Facebook. We got political people, political brains. Political gurus. It's like, okay, where did you get, even if you didn't get a formal education in politics, where did you get your experience as a political guru? Where did you get your experience as a political analyst? Now people are just opening pages. When you look, they say they're giving the news in Liberia. They're journalists. They're analyzing. They're breaking down the situation in Liberia. And some of the breakdowns are not even, you can't even understand what the heck they're talking about, because they have no political experience. They don't take the time to even go and educate themselves, to learn some things, to be able to explain it or analyze it to the people. It's like me saying, now, yeah, how can I go on on social media and say, you know what, I'm an economist, so I'm here to break down the dynamics of the Liberian economics, and I'm breaking it down. I can't even understand it.
And
Whereas
never went to school to
I
be an economist.
never got no formal education as an economist, but yet and still, I say I am an economics. I'm say economist, and I'm sitting and breaking down the dynamics of the Liberian economy. I mean, what gave me that right to do that? So that's what
Yeah.
we're talking about. And if anybody on the platform, they can make their statements. If they have comments, they just ask. We're here. We're talking about it. It's on all of us to talk about, not just the two of us. We all need to be talking about it in a Liberian society.
We all need to destroy that disease. It's a kind of it's a toxic disease that destroying, like what Jean just wrote. Jean Corden, she said, poor people will trust anyone because of lack of knowledge, and our people suffer. Because most time when they leave here with all those fake degrees, and thank God for people like Martin Colley and Vandela Patrick's, now they're exposing these things to the Liberian community, although people are fighting them, insulting them, but what they're doing good for the country. And
Yeah.
I wish that Fendela Patrick could come on today to us with us, but Fendela is taking his exams at school, so he cannot come. He's studying. But seriously, we really need to talk about this thing, because this thing has destroyed Liberia, and it's destroying Liberia to the core. Look at the amount of journalists that we have in the country. Look what these people are doing. I mean, none of them even went to sit down in one journalism class. It doesn't even give you the right, if you did one journalism class, to claim to be a journalist, because there are strategies and there are ways. I personally did one journalism class, and I tell you, the class was so choked and stuff. I was looking at that. Wow, I never knew that how to be a journalist. It's a lot you have to put into it. And that class was like it was like choking me, because I really enjoyed the class, but there was so much. That was the lady said. She said there's so much information. That's why you have to have a degree to be a journalist. And then they got all these people on Facebook and in Liberia claiming to be journalists. The people are destroying the core structure of our country. Back in the day, for you to be a journalist in Liberia, do you know what it entails? And not everybody journalist. Yeah, our journalists are reporting from Spoon TV, PFM, this other FM, and that other FM, and they're destroying our country by the day, talking nonsense, and they never even went to educate themselves. Everybody are politicians, and although Aristotle said that political. Uh, 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 uh,
We are all inherently political animals.
Yeah, Aristotle said we are all inherently political animals. We agree. But the power you say you are a strong politician, you have to actually go to school for that. And that's the politician problem we had in America. Because our last president was not actually a politician. He never went to school for that. But because of hate and racism, the country they voted him into power. You saw what we went through? Because you actually have to have experience in this thing. For you to sit in a position, you have to have experience to be able to sit in that position to speak, in that capacity. And most of the time in Liberia, they have destroyed the core of the structure of our country. The real journalists are no more. They are no more because everybody else, they're journalists. They come and because people like to hear trash, so they will come and they will listen to these things, and then it just go like that. And Liberia is getting destroyed. Nurses, CNA leave here, they go to Liberia, they say they are nurses, they open their own clinic. People who never even had experience in healthcare, they're going to Liberia, opening clinics, and just hiring people who say they are nurses, never graduated. You know what it is to become a nurse? You have to go to school and you have to do practical. You got to go to, they call, I don't know what they call it. But you have, after you finish with a nursing degree, you got to go to another, go in a hospital to work for some time before they can even give you your certificate as a nurse. And these people say they are nurses, they're killing our people. Our family members get sick in Liberia and they just die from common sicknesses because the people who claim to be nurses and doctors, they are not. One of my friends was telling me, she said, Grace, I went to Liberia and I was sick. She said, and she went to TIMA,
TNIMA.
TNIMA, and she said that she graduated and everything. So when she went to the hospital, she said, she said, even the people in the lab, once you just put on coat, the white coat, they post out to call you that.
Yeah.
Hello, doctor. They start to get you knee. And the thing is, it has until now, people are even dying from headache in Liberia. Yes, it has something to do with the economy. It also has something to do with the lack of experience in the position that people sit in that destroying the core of our country. Where you can go ahead and speak. Let me just read some comments. So then, Ruvel June said, "Thank you for doing this. In 2004, my child had a bad cold. Before paying for cold medicine, I read the indication to see when I was buying what I was buying, if it was the correct one. The so-called pharmacist got belligerent because I had the nerves to read what I was giving my child. It was totally wrong thing. It was a seizure. I just left it. You see what she's saying? She went to go buy cold medicine and they gave her seizure medicine because the pharmacist did not even know what medicine to give her. Now they got pharmacist technician and
So,
they got pharmacist.
do you
Go
know what
ahead,
it
Flora.
does to become a pharmacist? Do you
Yeah.
know the education you need to be a pharmacist? You have to have drug. You have to actually have knowledge of drugs and mixing drugs. The people don't go to school. I tell you a story. A friend of mine, a friend of mine that I know, she was in Liberia and she was always having this constant headache. And she said every time she go to the eye doctor, her eyes were bothering her. Also, the eyes would cause headache. He kept saying there's pressure in the eye. In Liberia, when you got eye problem, the big diagnosis in Liberia is pressure is in your eye. You got pressure in your eye. You got pressure in your eye. Today they kept prescribing all kinds of eye drops, all kinds of medication. She kept putting it there, and it wasn't going away. She had to fly out of Liberia, and she flew to Ghana. When she flew to Ghana and went to the eye doctor in Ghana and told the eye doctor what the eye doctor in Liberia told the man, say whoever that eye doctor is, they need to lock him up. He does not need to be in that field because he doesn't know what you're talking about. You have the pressure in your eye, you have normal eye pressure. Your pressure in your eye is not high. Lo and behold, long story short, lo and behold, that problem that I was having, it was way beyond that. It's because of a tumor that was growing in her brain that kept sitting on a nerve that kept bothering her eye, one of the nerves connected to her eye. But for God, she is alive today. But for God, she is alive today. Even my grandmother, she did eye surgery in this country before going back to Liberia. Now she in Liberia, every little pressure in the eye pressure. We had to tell her no. Now we have to send her eye drops from here to Liberia for her to use. And told her, Dana, no pressure in your eye. this is the eye drop that you need. The late Dr. Tude Tubber, he just passed. I think they just buried him. They go on Saturday. May his soul rest in peace. He used to go see her that normal day eye doctor. We all knew Dr. Tubber because we all live in the same neighborhood in Pinsville on Tupper Road. And Dr. Tubber told her, say, no, this is what you should use. And we used to, we always buy the medication and care her. But I'm saying this to say that too many people in Liberia, somebody who impersonate and somebody who is an imposter, they're almost family. They're kind of like family member. They're in the same family member. And I tend to say that even though we're talking about impersonation, there are a lot of people in Liberia that have mixed in the society that are imposters also. They steal educational identity. Maybe they don't steal a person's identity, but they steal the identity of an era of study. And they say that's what they have done. And because of that, they're killing a lot of people in Liberia. They
Yeah,
are, even in the America, Liberians in the America are killing people too, because
yeah,
they're lying and saying they are this, whereas they are not it. Too many things they carry, especially those who claim to be politicians and those who claim to be journalists. I don't know. They're just on another level. People just need to put them in a
it
place.
just die
They,
off.
yeah, they just lie all day. People just got their own political alignments. They talk trash, what they want to talk. They promote their own personal agendas, and then they say they are politicians.
But this is what happening to our country. They got these little children falling behind them. Jose, yo, this and that. When the children falling behind them, when there's an election, they win the election, then they have to get each other positions. Look at our city mayor. That boy could have been taken to school. He could have gone to school instead of making him a whole city mayor.
But
You know
he a
what it takes for you
but
to be a city mayor?
he's considered a politician.
And
That's
he's considered a
a
politician.
politician.
Because he was behind and Jose. So when they won the position, they won the elections, they had to find something for him to do. Now, a good leader will take those children that were behind them, say, you know why you were behind us? We won the election, but we have to send you back to school, and so you can get your education. That may be the next regime. Then you will be the people to line up in the next regime. But they had to give all the people position, and now the other people seeing it. And it's going on and on. I said, you got people on Facebook speaking broken English. And yes, this and that. And they say the politicians, they're waiting for the next government to come so they can get in that position. Can you imagine? And these people with the political groups and things, all the pressure group, they're giving these young children position in the pressure group. Say, oh yeah, she's the leader of this. And they're supposed to be the educated people though. She's the leader of this. He's the leader of that. Then when they take over the country, then they have to get this children position. And that's how the people are destroying Liberia by the day. But when Riwa Musu Stewart, she said, I will blame the vetting process in Liberia. It is literally non-existent. There is no vetting process. And then Jean said again, because a man that sits in the big chair don't make him a king. Our government needs to establish guidelines to hold physicians accountable. Some physicians don't have the proper practice. They don't have it. And because of this thing, especially when it comes to the healthcare sector, the people are dying in Liberia by the day because of the poor vetting system of not the vetting system, but the healthcare, but because of the poor guidelines that they have established for the healthcare sector, that anybody can go to Liberia and just be a doctor. And they will just put the people wrong medication and just kill them by the day. That's why killing the people.
Even the Liberians that are in Liberia are killing. I tell you a story that a nurse in Liberia told me. She said there was a nurse friend of her who used to work in Catholic in a Catholic hospital. Somebody relative was sick, and they took the relative to the hospital. That person relative died in the hospital because this particular nurse administered the wrong medication to that person. The hospital found out that the nurse administered the wrong medication to the person. The person died. The hospital, Catholic hospital, fired her. But Catholic hospital did not tell the person family member that's what killed the person. They just told the person, say, oh, the person was sick and they didn't make it, they expired. What a shame. What a sad situation. They let the nurse go. They let her go, but they did not inform the family member that that person family member died because there was malpractice in the facility. because some nurse who claimed that she was a nurse, they left her there and she administered the wrong medication to the person. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
It's
hearing you.
I mean, everybody in Liberia is a doctor. Now, when your family member sick in Liberia, when you call to even ask them simple questions to explain to you, they get very upset. Oh, you're in America, you think you're better than us. Several times my grandmother said when you call just to ask them simple question. Okay, can you please tell me what is really happening to her? Because they are so incompetent, they get very belligerent. They don't want to talk to you. They tell you that, oh, you think you're in America, you're no better than us. Everybody that physician assistant, you go to the hospital and say, oh, the PA. Where is the doctor? The PA, in America, when you are a physician assistant, you are close to being a doctor. You are considered kind of a doctor, not a PA in Liberia. I mean, the whole system is just rotten. It's just so much. It's just so much impersonation going on in Liberia. It's just so many imposters in Liberia. Some of them leave from America and go to Liberia and lie and kill people. Some of them they breed them right in Liberia. Right in Liberia, they're breeding
Yeah, bread.
and
Mm-hmm.
people who are impersonating careers that they have no formal education in. They're impersonating businesses. They're impersonating themselves as only this and only that. Part of corrupt people, when they steal the people money, then they say, I'm a business owner. I got my money from this business. I got my money from this
The
other thing.
business,
It's also
yeah.
lies. But how can the country be changed when they head
Well, let
the
me tell you
father of
now.
the country? The
What's
father
up?
of the country himself is not a political man. He's an imposter. He's in a position. He's not. He has because I was so let you go, Chris. If Aristotle said we are as humans are inherently political animals, the least you can do is to educate yourself in political things. That's the least you can do.
Yeah.
Educate yourself. Even if you don't get a formal education, go and educate, read, read, enlighten yourself about the way things are supposed to be done. Look what Liberia is now. Because we got part of impersonators and we got part of imposters running the country, so the country is nowhere. It's just going down the drain, down the toilet.
Well, somebody wrote just now, it said the deputy for operations at NSA, Gerald Smith. He worked in a group home in Philadelphia and Maryland up to 2011 before relocating to Liberia. Then did private security contracts based on what experience only he knows. Now he is the deputy for operations in the NSA.
Okay.
Somebody who are just working in a group home here. What connection do you have with anything concerning security? Because for you to actually work in the NSA, you have to actually go to school. You have to actually go to school for criminal justice. Even if you have an AA degree, at least a level towards something. But you came from the group home, working with sick people, straight to the NSA as deputy director. How can somebody function in that kind of position that they have no experience, never went to school for? And that's the destruction that the people are causing Liberia by the day. And then when people talk and say, oh, and this and that and the other, I don't know, my dear. I don't know how Liberia will come back, but some of your state got hope. I got hope, but then when you look into the core, when you do core research in Liberia situation, you just get discouraged at them. How will it even change? How will it even change? Now, what can you go and tell the man after some few years? All he knows that he sat in that position and he sat there, and he all he knows he's doing his job, even if with confusion. And even there's how they call him, there's the deputy minister of information. They said that I read somebody other comment and said he barely graduated with his bachelor's, except he just won recently after 2014 that he can prove. He dropped out of East Tennessee State University because he was suspended for a year for his dullness. He couldn't even make a 2.0 GPA. That man went to talk plenty on Facebook. He's the deputy minister of information, not giving us the right information he's supposed to give us, but always there defending because he was defending till he got a job. So he continued to just defend, and he think that information job he's doing. No. Think about everyone who was little children in Liberia, information minister. You know what they used to be doing? Not
But
to defend the president, they used to
like
give the
public
information
relation,
that the country need. And
but
then
don't
we
you have
are not even reading it. because he was suspended for a year due to dullness, was unable to maintain a required 2.0 GPA, and then he transferred to Northeast State in a community college. One thing I like about America, you can find out everything. You can just go ask them, you just go in the post and say you're looking for stuff, they will give it to you. For anybody. And it said to build up a GPA, and he got a dual AA degree. So he got about 4 different AA degree. Why you couldn't get bachelor? Because you couldn't beat up with a GPA. And you sitting there, you deputy minister for information, you come on Facebook, talk trash, and they say, yeah, you're supposed to be there talking trash. So they put you there, and yeah, you doing your job. Do you know that the academic can read to you what an information minister job is? Bro, go ahead.
No, I was just saying that I think I was just thinking, asking that in order to function in the capacity of being an information minister or any kind of anything related to information, don't you have to like have studies in public relations or something? That's just a question I was asking. But the thing about it is that it's just such a sad story, even in Liberia. In fact, the impersonation will start in America and then they take it to Liberia. And that's the reason why a lot of people, when they're in America, they're so loud, they're boisterous, they're everything, they're insulting other people and carrying on because when they insult and when they talk down to other people, in the end they end up getting jobs in the government in Liberia. Then they go Liberia and carry the incompetence in Liberia, and then the country end up being destroyed. The Liberian people end up suffering. The same thing they do it in the political arena, and they do it in the healthcare arena. Those are the two major areas that are being exploited in Liberia.
I
And
have another one.
the point, it has to come to the point where Liberians, this has to be a major topic, especially with elections coming up in 2023. People have to make sure. I think like somebody wrote a comment and said that it's the vetting process. Now that we are looking towards a better Liberia, for a change in Liberia, I think it's time for people to start vetting people right now before even we get to 2023. Because we still do right now have a lot of impersonators who are screaming right now. They are screaming right now, just waiting
Mhm.
for the chance to go get there and to sink the country more. Some of them are in healthcare. Some of them are in. Some of them say they're in businesses. Some of them say they're journalists. Some of them say they're political analysts. Some of them say they're political gurus and experts. They say some of them say a lot of things. Some of them say they're jack of all trades. Some of them say that. So this is the time that people who are looking towards the future, a good future for Liberia, so that Liberia can have a turnaround. This is the time for them to start vetting those people who are speaking on their behalves. They need to start vetting them now because we can't afford to have this going on in Liberia forever. There has to be a change. All the impersonators and all the imposters, they have to be put to shame.
And that's the
But
thing
they
that's
have to be
hurting the
here.
country. Yeah. Yeah, the economy is poor. The healthcare system is poor because we have too many impersonators and too many imposters in Liberia. You have to have people that have a level head to do the job, that they actually went to school and they have experience in doing the job before that job can be done. But if you have impersonators and you have imposters, how can you have a good economy? You cannot, because the people that are impersonating and the imposters, they don't know what they're doing. So therefore, your economy will never grow. That people will not come to invest in your country. So Sam is saying that you are right, my sister suffers from high blood. You are right, my sister suffered from high blood pressure, but was treated for cold and malaria.
Correct.
Then Musu is saying again, there is an endemic phobia of qualified people in these days in Liberia. So unqualified people hook up with the powers that can be for placement in high position. Yeah,
It's
they're afraid of qualified people. So I don't know, something going on. Something. Let me just read what Jean said. Jean said the prerequisite. I like that. She said the prerequisite for working in Liberia: be a good liar and
yeah.
it's slick-lipped. And she said, "Oh, let's not forget taking advantage of young girls,
Mm-hmm.
being loud on social media, verbally assaulting our daughter." Exactly. That's the prerequisite right there. I said that before, Jean. That once you can talk and you can yell and scream, and you got one person that you follow that maybe goblin people, following, and you scream and talk, and before you look, you in position now. Then you think now you're supposed to be president, or maybe you think you're supposed to be a minister or one of the state. But somebody said, it said Joa Cassel, Deputy Minister of Justice to Administration, says she's a very nice woman. But the thing is that how can you be a Minister of Justice to Administration when you got your degree in sociology? How can you? You cannot even work in the people law office here to be even a law secretary or typist in the law office, or even anything that have to do with the justice system if you went to school for sociology. I mean, it just don't add up. Even they have position at my job, they listen, oh, you have to have a certain education background to apply for those positions. Like the social work, I could never go and apply for social work. I never went to school for that. So how can you take somebody graduate in sociology, they have a master, a bachelor degree in sociology, yeah, they're nice and everything, but then you go and put them in our justice system. That's
What?
why the justice system doesn't work.
What her position?
They said that she is not the minister, she is the deputy minister of justice for administration, but she has a degree in sociology. Can you imagine? It just doesn't add up at all. When the people choose their career and they go to school for a certain career, they should be put in that career line of work. It helps to build the country. It helps to make the country better. You cannot take somebody who went to school and went and did criminal justice, and then you go and put them to be a healthcare minister. It just doesn't work. You cannot take a woman who go and have a degree in political science, that piece of city and you go put her to gender ministry. What does it add up? Yeah, she has a master degree in that, but the capacity you put her to work in, she cannot function in that capacity because she never went to school for that area. You have to be passionate to do that kind of work, like gender work. And you to be a minister of gender, you have to be passionate about that job. You can't be a politician and you went to school for political science and then they put you in that position. Or you go to school for political science, then they make you health minister. Or you go to school for political science, they jump out, they put you over MTA. It just doesn't add up. Misplaced identity. That's impersonation. They will say, oh, no, but they put in there. No, but the whosoever put in there, they are impersonating. Because, like me, if you put me in that position, I tell you, I never went to school. I don't know how to be minister of education. I didn't get a degree in education.
The thing is, I'm thinking that she was put in a position because she was able to insult Ellen Johnson Sirleaf constantly on Facebook. How Ellen Johnson was incompetent as a president and as a woman, how she failed the Liberian women, and how she did this and how she did that. So because she could insult another woman, they felt like, okay, if she could insult another woman, then the position will put her there and see the difference that she will make. Now she's in that position. It's a whole different story. So it's not everybody that talk is able to. Some talk is cheap. Some people can talk and they talk and walk the walk. Some people can just talk, they talk, period. You put them there, they are unable to walk the walk because they don't have the brain power, they don't have the mental ability, they don't have the mental capacity, neither the emotional capacity to function or to handle certain issues. Well, let me just not say that, but that's just what it is. That's just what it is. Somebody can come from here as a nurse's aide, and the next thing they do, they are the head of JFK. They running JFK. How in the hell that is possible? How is that even possible?
But look what happened.
In a civilized society, but then again, Liberia has turned from a civilized society to just a society that has no name, because the society in Liberia now cannot be categorized. We don't know what kind of society it is in Liberia anymore, because there's so many dysfunction, so many impersonators, so many imposters. And I continue to say, specifically, we are concerned specifically in the healthcare sector and in the political sector. It's just too much. It has to be addressed. These people who are political, the real political people and the real political gurus, they need to start talking about these things so that come around time to change Liberia, so Liberia can be looking in a different direction. So our people can be educated and be and know what to look for and who not to put a neck on the block for. You know, it
But
has.
these team educated people, they are putting all these people behind them because they want to get in a certain position or they want to be president. So they will just take any Tom, Dick, and Harry and put them behind them to sing. And once the person got muffed to talk and start to scream on Facebook and yell on social media, then now they owe the person a position when they get in power. Instead of then look for the people who can do the job, they capable ones that have the degree and have the experience and can do the work. They will look for people who are incompetent. They can't find the competent people because the competent people are not yelling behind them. Now you can have the incompetent people yelling behind you, maybe that they can react to yell, but at least when you get in power, the best you can do for them is to send them to school. The best you can do for them to send them to school. But one other thing here, before I read comments on
But
the
why you
platform,
gotta before you read a comment? Why the best you can do to send it is to send it to school? Why you can't tell them now that they are yelling
yeah,
for
they need to start going to
them
school.
to start getting themselves together so that they should put themselves in a place of competence so that if there is a change, they will have the qualification, they will have the experience, they will have the know-how for whatever position that they are elected for or appointed for to be able to function in it. Why they have to wait? This is
I
the time.
know they don't have to. And what Musu
Huh?
is saying, she said the problem is very severe, and that's true. That's why
It is
I keep on
severe.
telling you myself. Talk. I said, for the thing here is the destruction is going to the core. I don't know how Liberia will get out of this destruction though. It will take a real powerful president to put his foot down on this thing. The thing has destroyed the country. I mean, in every sector, in every part of the country, it's not even one down in the government, in the public sector, even in the private sector. The thing is like it's a curse.
What the judges in Liberia? Some of the judges that got in Liberia, I think we talked about it in one time, you myself and some of our live way back when we came come on in the morning. I said it. Those churches and some of the people never judge and town chief there and people in the neighborhood that knew how to judge the neighborhood case. Now they are judges in Liberia sitting now in the seat of authority. And they're sitting in the seat of authority now. Nobody in Liberia can get any kind of justice anymore. Because they don't know what to do. They were just judging power in the neighborhood, but because they connected to somebody in the seat of authority now, who granted them favor to put them on top or put them in a seat that they have no business being in, that they have no capacity of, they're in that seat now, and they're just functioning wrong. Some they can't even function at all. They're just saying that they're dormantly. They're doing nothing. They're just saying that they're just pure corruption going on. They can't make any kind of sound judgment. They cannot make any kind of sound decision. They have no brain capacity to do it. They have their brain does not extend that far. Their knowledge and experience does not go that far. They are unable to do the
Yeah,
job.
neighborhood judges. You know
Yeah,
under the Palawa hut.
yeah.
Okay, so
Judges.
I want to read. Donald Curtis as well. You something as she said, she has sex with a higher man in the federal. I'm not reading that, sister. You just went too deep. Dua Pot, Duat Doba, Dua Doba Pot. Real Liberian in there. Our focus as Liberians should be on changing the mindset of about 200,000 200,000 plus years old and under. Hmm.
But how do we begin to do that?
But let me read another comment. So somebody said that Rebecca Younger McGill, Natalia McGill, the Minister of State sister, she's the Deputy Minister for Administration at the Ministry of Finance. In her confirmation, when asked about financial plan, the ministry for the ministry also, she her remarked the person, what is your financial plan for the ministry since you're gonna be Deputy Minister of Finance or for administration? And she said, Jesus, because she never had no clue about what they were even saying, or she did not have any clue for financial plan because guess what? She just served in her church
As a treasurer,
as a financial person in her church.
as
And
a financial treasurer, so now it qualify her to be
yeah,
to financial administration, whereas she has no knowledge of finance.
can you
How can
imagine?
somebody who has no knowledge of finance or even accounting, how can they give you a financial plan? How
I
can
know.
They
For
can't.
you to be deputy minister of finance, you have to have a degree, at least a bachelor's degree in finance, and maybe you go to do your master, or you can have a bachelor's degree in accounting and go and do your master's in finance or something, or you can have your bachelor's degree in anything you choose to, and but at least when you go for your master's, you can do finance or accounting, right, Vera?
That's all
At
right.
least it will worry you something. But you just work in a church and they put financial secretary, ploop, they made you deputy minister for administration in finance ministry.
But
Our country see trouble. Oh.
yeah, but Grace, it's the same thing with the Palava Hut judges. Just because they were able to judge Flower under the Palava Hut, now they are qualified to be justice, to bring Supreme Court justice in Temple of Justice. It's the same way. If you are treasurer, financial treasurer in your church, guess what? You know how to manage money, so they will put you in finance administration. Put you at a higher level in finance administration. I mean, it's like you said on one of the commenters said underneath the post, it's long years a mindset that needs to be changed. But how are we changing it? Because we see that the same mindset, we have a lot of those mindsets in the diaspora. A lot of those mindsets are in the diaspora. They're not only in Liberia. A lot of them are in the diaspora, and a lot of them are on Facebook, and they're very loud. And they're loud and they're seen, and nobody is checking them. No one checking them. People go on their posts. Some people will argue back and forth with them. Some people will try to check them, but for the most part of it, nobody checking them. And so
They have become heroes.
it's that same behavior, that same
Mhm.
empty boisterousness that they will transfer to the next administration if there is a turnover. It's that same thing they will turn over. So how do we change the mindset? And changing the mindset require us to have these conversations constantly. Call out people. Don't be, say it like it is. Call out people and tell people it's not right. We have to constantly talk about it. Even if we have to have Facebook town hall or virtual town halls. I think that's something that people should start doing. A virtual town hall for people in the diaspora and people in Liberia. They will listen. I think that's a start for people for these conversations to be held, and for people to start asking questions, and for things to start for us to start laying the right path for our country for change. Because change is not only a turnover of the president or a turnover of the administration. That's not change. Change is holistic. If you turn over, if one administration is removed and another administration with the same mindset gets there, then we have not achieved change. We have not.
And
Then
the scary part about it is that it's going to happen again. You know why? Because the political leaders that are even coming to run in the next election, they have many of those people behind them. They have many of those people behind them yelling and screaming and don't even know what it is that they will be able to do when the government change and they put them in position. They do not have that backing of that education or experience. So why are these politicians allowing these kind of people to be identified with them? You know what it was to be
because
a deputy minister of education? Walter Richards was a deputy minister of education in the 80s. He had 2 master degrees. For principal for like Jeremiah Walker, he had a master degree plus in education to be even principal of like Mission. Look at Madam, the woman that was principal for Prominent Mission. You know how many degrees that woman had before she was even principal for Prominent Mission? They
but
got people in Liberia now in the education sector. They never even got 9th grade degree. They are principal for the other school. I went to schools in Liberia as well, communicating with the principals when I took things for the school children. I was just in shock that the people couldn't even explain to me what it is that they do in the school, what the curriculum entails. I started telling them about the curriculum. I brought some different things that I wanted to work with the Ministry of Education with. And the people never had any idea. Some of them never even knew what the curriculum was about. But they were vice principal and secretary in the principal office.
but some of them don't even know what you call a curriculum. Some of them
Huh.
know what a curriculum is. So if you go and ask somebody what is your curriculum, how are they going to tell you what it is when they don't even know the word curriculum, what it means? How? They're not going to be able to explain to you. It's the same way in the health area, Grace. Normal time, those people that function as doctors and gynecologists and stuff like that, those people have formal education in those areas. Not that they didn't make errors, not that everything was perfect, but they had education and experience and certain kind of knowledge, the healthcare knowledge that they needed to be in a capacity to function in a capacity. You understand? But nowadays, you go to Liberia, you ask a nurse, a nursing question. They can't even tell you.
Even the lawyers,
The lawyers, they don't even know what they're
they
doing.
say that you have to have a license to practice law in any country. And it's supposed to even be very from county to county. If you have a license in the other county, you have to get a license the next. For you to practice law in Pennsylvania, you have to have the license here in Pennsylvania as an attorney to practice law in Pennsylvania. When you move out of Pennsylvania and go to Delaware, you have to give another license. Means that you have to take a state test to have a license to practice law in Delaware. You cannot practice be a lawyer in Delaware. You can't in Pennsylvania. You say, oh yeah, there's that the people not allowing it. Oh yeah, I got my lawyer. Look at that case we have with Lawani, where the woman lawyer in Liberia. We have a case with Lawani right now in the state said that we going through, and her lawyer in Liberia. If we just tell you about the
Just
frustration
to
with the
get, I
lawyer
mean,
in
you
Liberia.
talk about it, but you somebody lawyer. Just to get paperwork from you, you say they must send you money to bribe you. You lawyer? What kind of law school in Liberia license you to be a lawyer?
Yeah.
But look, too many, like we said, too many imposters and too many impersonators in Liberia and in the diaspora. To change that, I'm saying, I'm not a politician. I don't impersonate anything. I'm not an imposter of anything. We just come here and we say our piece based on the subject. Sometimes people send the topics to us, and sometimes we select the topics. So we are just saying, for Liberia to change, it does not mean that only an administration, a certain group of people has to leave, and then the same group of people, it's just like the people that are wearing red, when other than leave from there, then the people that are wearing blue go there. But the people that are wearing red and the people that are wearing blue, they are all of the same kind. We cannot move forward. They are all impersonators and they are all imposters. How do we figure these people out now? We see a lot of them now on Facebook. Are we saying anything to them? Are we saying anything to them? Are we saying that, look, you are not who you are? You are not who you say you are. You are not who you pretend to be that you are. You are lying. You are an impersonator. You are an imposter. So we're going to put you out there so that the Liberian people know that you are not what you say you are. The things that you are saying are not true things. You are pretending. This is you in essence, you are just carrying a false identity. How do we start to call these people out so that they don't infiltrate back into the next government or into the next regime or administration that's going to take over, that's going to keep Liberia in the same position and we not moving forward?
Do I
How
put
do we
that?
call out
That's a suggestion.
how do we call out these fake nurses, these fake doctors, these fake everything that's passing
Lawyers,
here,
fake,
lawyers,
fake,
fake
fake
politicians,
journalists. I'm a
journalists, them?
journalist. I did
Yes.
this. I'm a this. I just so lies. What your document
When
to
you can
show?
gossip about somebody, when you can bring false information about somebody, you're a journalist. How do we call those people out? How do we start to put them to shame so that the behavior that we are seeing now, that they're displaying before our eyes, how do we weed those kind of people out of our from among us so that they don't infiltrate back into the Liberian society and thereby causing Liberia to remain suppressed?
Okay. Do I put that one thing he said? Liberians need an all Liberian conference of all like-minded Liberians from all discipline, midwives, social workers, nurses, agriculturists, teachers, doctors, lawyers, and carpenters. Seriously, they like-minded people in America. I don't know how we just sitting down here and letting the people destroy our country. But when you call the people to conference, I don't know whether they will even come. You need to put it together, brother. You're ready. You're bringing on. Come to it. We even how the coin said. advertise it every now and then. We'll talk about it so all of us can be to that conference because we need to come together to save our country. Oh.
Virtually, it can be a virtual conference. People are doing
Yeah.
things virtually now, but he has to be careful when he say like-minded people. He has to qualify the type of like-minded people he are talking about, because a lot of imposters on here, they're like-minded. So we
And
have
you talking about he named the people and then people who got credentials in these things, like carpentry, lawyers. For you to be a part of it, you will
you
have to sign. You know
verify.
that you
It
are
has
a
to be
bona fide
verified.
lawyer.
Yeah, verifiable credentials, because a lot of
Exactly.
people got all kinds.
Verifiable with credentials. If you're telling us say you are a lawyer, we won't see paper. You say you are public relations or personality, personality. We will want you to show your public relation diploma when you want to school. Because they put a go to school to get degree for that stuff. They don't just come and be talking. The people go to school and get degree for that. Right now, you go to CNN, you cannot just work as a journalist. After you get your degree, you go there, you will be in training for at least 5 years before they even put you on a TV show. You don't just go there and happen. So and for you to be a doctor here, you know how to poke and scrutinize people anyway. Yeah, you guys already know. And we have to set that same trend for Liberia. How can Liberia have all these educated people that live in the diaspora and even in Liberia? They got some highly inclined individuals in Liberia. I communicate with them on a regular. How can we set our people aside to change the country from the way it's going now to a new direction for Liberia to come back to who it was and for our children's lives to be safe? Because this thing is destroying the next generation of Liberians. If we don't take time, this country will go to nowhere. I mean, it will be just how we on the list, the lowest on the list of everything. It will just get worse.
And
It will get worse.
I agree with what the commenter said, what Dwight said, that people need to come together. The imposters, they have to be weeded out. They have to be weeded out. But I'm thinking, because we are not political people, I'm thinking those who are political people, those who have we all have Liberia at heart at some in some capacity. But those who are really political people, they need to come together. Like he said, we need to have an all Liberia conference. And it needs to be an all Liberia conference. It can be a virtual conference where people are invited and people can sign on and people can and give their opinion. People can talk. We can have panelists and stuff where people can ask questions. We just watched the meeting the last time, the UN meeting, the LC Fund initiative. We were all underneath there giving our opinions and giving our saying what we had to say. There were things said about Liberia which we reported. But we need these kind of things, and not just a one-time conference, but we need a constant conference, because you will have to break out the virtual conference into sectors, because you have to have the political conference, you have to have the healthcare conference, because that's major in Liberia. People are dying every day. I was just not let me just divert a little bit. I was watching something on Facebook yesterday. I forgot what news station it was on, and they were doing an interview with an embalmer in Sino County, and he was saying in Sino County he is the only embalmer in the whole county, in the whole Sano County. He's the only embalmer in that county. But the problem he's having is that there are people who are doing quasi embalming on the side, which is causing a lot of problem. They don't have the equipment, they don't have the know-how, they don't have the technology, but they are doing all these quasi empowerment, and because of that, is exposing the citizens to a whole lot of other things, disease
But
breakout.
that's criminal impersonation. They need to call the cop. They need to call the police, and also they
He
need to
said
put this.
he said he went to the commissioner of the county and complained to the commissioner of the county, or whoever that had in the county. He went and he complained, and he said the man just played it on deaf ear. It's just like it fell on deaf ears, as if to say he never heard what the embalmer were complaining to him. He said the man did nothing. He said he has complained about it so much and nothing is being done. How can you have normal people just embalming somebody behind a backyard? Do you know what kind of health risk it poses to people living in the community? You just go behind your house, you decide to go embalm somebody there because you don't want to go pay money to the funeral home, or because somebody else said they're embalmer. What makes that person an embalmer? What makes them an embalmer? Do they have the qualifications? But when you go to the people in the seat of authority, the man was saying, when you go to the people that sit in the seat of authority to tell them this thing, it's just like it fall on deaf ears. They pay no attention. And because of that, it's posing a lot of health issues. So people who live within the community in which they're doing the quasi environment. So people are getting sick. And all kinds of things happening to people. There's all kind of outbreak in the community. So
And
who's
then they
doing
say, oh,
something?
they don't know why the people, oh, we don't know what happened. Our people
No,
just
they
dying.
know what happened when you get sick. You go to the hospital, and next thing will tell you, say that typhoid is the biggest thing in Liberia. Everybody sick from typhoid. You sick that typhoid, or your eye hearing problem. Look, there are certain diagnoses in Liberia. Huh? When you sick, that either malaria or that typhoid. When your eye hurting, it's because you get pressure in your eye. When your eye turning, it's because you either get high blood pressure or you get low blood pressure. They
Are
don't
you pregnant?
they're not checking you. When you go to the hospital, by the time they rush you to the hospital, without even checking you, the next thing they put you on glucose. So if you're a person that suffer from sugar, the next thing you die from sugar overdose. But they will never tell you say your family member died from sugar overdose. But
Mm-hmm.
they say, oh, the person they make it,
They get everybody drips. So whether you got sugar, your sugar high, they give you drips. Your sugar, I mean, they just give everybody drips. But one thing I wanted to argue with you is that I don't think the virtual conference is enough. Now the people are taking the vaccination. People are getting vaccine, the coronavirus, although they say, some another trend is coming. But that conference, it can be virtual for now, but it needs to be face to face. Well, before you come for you to register for the conference, you have to register with your credentials and things. The people got to know what capacity in the different sectors that we're supposed to have the conference, what set of people are supposed to go this time. And it has to be in a hall or real conference that will save that country. Right now, the virtual conference, yeah, it can happen, but when things get better, they need to bring it out.
that's
And people
a
need to start to discuss this kind of thing because it's very serious, though.
the
It's very
virtual
serious.
conference, the virtual conference is a start because you talking about we're just in 21, which is entering May, so we in 21. So you got 22 to come before 23 comes. So the
Mhm.
in-person conference can take place later as the
22.
but we have to start somewhere. I mean, people have to start somewhere. And if they invite people, people will come to the virtual conference. That one thing I know, but who's going to be the one to start a virtual conference? Because all of these people who are imposters, they definitely they're not going to start it.
Hmm. Well, we're supposed to stay here for 1 hour. The topic is thick. I will just advertise my product quick. So I came up with this product, Gracie K product, and I have a facial soap going on and also a body wash. It's good for men and women, especially the body wash. You men, you want to try it. So this is the body wash. All you need to do is DM me, and I will send you a bottle. So this one is for my ladies, and I got some for the men. You see this one? So you inbox me, you order your I will give you all the information when you inbox me, you order that. You can also order the facial soap for your wife or yourself. If you suffer from acne, the facial soap, you can order it. I know I have a testimonial where one of my friends, she ordered it for her face, and her husband had all the bumps on his neck from the shaving, and she was rubbing it on his neck. And after some 1 or 2 weeks, it dried all the bumps, and they may have been going to dermatologist, from dermatologist, taking medication, taking shots. It will not go in with all the tick bump that can come behind your neck. And the soap was able to help him. And now his neck is free. He don't have to wear hats anymore. So the soap is very good. And I also carry on. I also got a brush. You can use the facial soap. You can use this brush right here. You put it in the facial soap and clean your face with it. We've been doing it. If you have been doing it, I've been doing it. You see our faces, we look good. So if you want, inbox me. There's the body wash. You know how it's African soap, and it has all the ingredients in it. Everything is natural. The body wash very good. When you take bath, you feel clean. If you're but you can't talk. If you know, it's because you.
I'm listening to you, mom.
Yeah, when you use the body wash, you feel very clean. If you can come here and talk about the body wash because you got the experience.
I mean, it's a good product line either way, either with the soap paste or the body wash. So I have used both. Like I had acne before. I suffer from adult acne, and very bad adult acne. At certain time, I would just break out, and it's just become a disgrace. There's no way to get it out. And I started to use the soap paste, the one, the can that Grace has in her hand now, and it helped me a lot. You can see my face I clear out significantly, and it continues to clear. And then recently, I got the body wash which I use on my body. It makes you feel clean, and it doesn't leave any residue on your skin. That's the good thing, because sometimes when you bathe with the regular soap, you see that you still got the skunk on your skin and you still have residue. But with the black soap wash, it does not do that. That's what I'm using. I use the paste to clean my face, and then I use the body wash to take a very good product. And the one that I'm using is scented. It's a lavender scent, and very mild, very easy on your nose bud, on your scent bud, very easy. So it's not strong, very mild, very good smelling and stuff like that, and I love it. The thing about it is that the scent does not stay on your skin, because some products you use, even after you bathe, you still find out that the scent of that whatever perfume or whatever they put in there, it stays on the skin. But it's not like that with the black. So once you clean it off, it's clean and everything. So I recommend it. I've been using it. I'm a satisfied customer since last year or 2020, and I recommend it to anybody to try. We all have different skin types, so you just have to give it time based on your skin type. For some people, within 2 weeks it works. For some people, it requires a little time, maybe 3 weeks, maybe a month. But the key is consistency. You have to
Consistency.
be consistent, and you have to clean your body every day.
And Jean says she love it. She says she love hers. Yeah, Musu, we don't have a website yet, but we have a Facebook page. So if you go to Black Beauty African Black Soap Paste is the Facebook page. You and me friends on Facebook. You can always just DM me, and then I will send you the information. You can put in your order. They putting up the website. I was just using this soap, and if you asked me, and I made it for her, she tried it, and she encouraged me to put it on the market, and it's just been working. I was just using it, my skin was glowing. She told me, "You get what you're using, girlfriend?" I said, "Oh, I make my own soap." She said, "Oh, you need to give me some I wear first. One hell of a boy and give it to her for free. Can you imagine?" And, and she said, "Look at the other one here. You can't give me that thing for free, but I put it on the market, and I had decided to put it in the market. That's why I could have good friends." And she encouraged me. I put it in the market. Then I came up with the body wash, and my husband loved it so much. He feels so clean, and it helped his skin a lot. So that's where we are. Many people have started using the body wash. They like it. It's very nice on your skin. And the black soap is anti inflammatory. So, and black soap, when you got cramps on your hand, we're getting old now. You got like cramps on your hand. Sometimes you get out in the morning, your whole hand stiff. The black soap too can help to eliminate all those things, and you don't have to be taking all the medication that the people giving you. Black soap, guys, most time we don't cherish our own products, but black soap has a lot of essential in it that can help you, your body, and even your nerves. And we don't know that. It depends on, you can not every black soap now, 'cause everybody making the black soap, but it depends on the ingredients in the black soap. And you want to try my ingredients. Trust me, you will
It's
not regret it. Everybody who bought the soap came back to buy it again. So I got customers coming back, and I saw a lot of it. So I know that it's a good product. So we will close now. If you will come in, she will say her last thing on our topic, impersonation, and I will give you some definition, and then how you can report it, because we need to start reporting this thing. All the other things that we report we put to international community and this and that, and we report this. And but the other day we were on United Nations website. We really said some things, and the people contacted us. So we need to be talking. We need to not just sit down. We need to explain these things. The impersonation and the impostoring going on too much in Liberia. It destroying our country. We cannot sit down and allow our country to go to the grounds. We have to fight. We have to. You're coming.
Yeah, I just wanted to say the good people that in the Liberian diaspora and in Liberia, there are a lot of good people. There are a lot of educated people. There are a lot of people who are inclined, and there are a lot of people who have good experiences. So we just want to say, I think it's time for all of us to come together to weed out the bad. Because the thing, if the good people sit back, the bad people with the imposters and the impersonators will take over, and that's what has happened in our society. And we're looking towards change in our society, change for our nation, change for our brothers, change for our sisters, change for ourselves in the diaspora, because we in the diaspora also, we suffer the very things the people in Liberia suffer. So it's time for us to come together and start speaking against these things. If somebody is an imposter, if somebody is an impersonator, whether that person is close to you or whether they are not close to you, you need to call them out. Because if you don't call people out, they're not going to realize what they're doing and they're not going to change. The more you call them out, the more they're going to know that people are watching them and watching the activities and knowing that the things that they are saying and the things that they are doing are lies. People need to start calling people off for their lies. People need to start calling people off for fake news and fake information and fake information dissemination, fake credentials, educational credentials. We need to start calling the people or the imposters and the impersonators have destroyed all of us. It has destroyed us in Liberia, and it is destroying us in the diaspora. Right on Facebook, we see it every day. Lies upon lies, lies upon lies. People inject their own personal selves into things, and then the next thing you know, they say, "Oh, I'm a political guru. I'm an expert in economics." You hear them breaking down the economy in Liberia. Sometimes it doesn't even make sense. It can't even add up, and you're listening and you're stretching your eyes like this and looking at them and wondering if they're really saying that you're hearing. And sometimes you don't even have to be a guru or an expert in the things they're talking. Just your simple mind understands that what they're saying is just complete nonsense. It does not make sense. So
Okay.
I'm saying that it is a good thing. We all need to come together. We need to weed these people out. The virtual conference is a good place to start, like Dwight said. We all need to get together. We all need to be talking about it with whoever we know, and we all need to start exchanging numbers and exchanging contacts. See how we can set it up and see how we can talk about this thing, because that's the only way Liberia is going to change. Liberia, we're not looking for the change that we're looking for. It's not for one administration to move from there and the next administration go with the same qualifications and criteria, and a whole new set of imposter go there. You kick one set of imposter up, you take
You
a
bring
new set
another instead of
of.
imposter.
That's not what we're looking for. We need genuine change, and we must all start talking about these things for a better Liberia, for better people as Liberians.
Thank you, Fira. And Leon Harris, he said, why you didn't read my text? He said, because I talk about ADT,
No, he
ADB.
didn't.
Okay. The text coming up, Leon. I was one of the persons that, even when they were voting Darius Dillon into office, I did not accept it. So I didn't read your text. It's not because of that I didn't read your text, because for me, I run an organization that deal with education. And for me to vote for somebody to sit in a certain position, you have to have a certain education criteria. There's have to be an education criteria set for you to be able to sit in that position as the person who is the head of maybe a county or whatsoever position it is. So I personally have problem with that, because I did not want to send a message to the children I tell to go to school that it was okay to vote somebody who they say, because I'm not sure, I don't know the main credentials. They say that I never had a high school diploma. I don't care how the person can break the issues. It's not one of my things. Fiora is my witness. I was one of the people that stood firmly against it. I thought it was wrong, because we're not sending a good message to our children. We just, the message we are sending to them, if you can come on social media, you can talk until your throat come up, and you can break some words, and you can learn some terminology and come and speak with those terminology, then you are equivalent to get a job, or you are qualified for a position in the government. And I stood against it. People say all kinds of things about me. Some people don't speak to me today. I really don't give a hank. My life is going on very successfully. So that one of the things. And then for Yeke, I stand the same ground. I just don't think the Liberian people, they are just, I don't know why they are voting these people into positions like that. Where the Liberia I grew in, we never did that. I never saw my parents do that. Everybody who had positions in Liberia were qualified, including my mother, who served in the government. She went to school, so and she had a great lot of experience on her hand as well from 3 different governments. So she knew what she was doing. So I would not be the person to even sit here and say. So those things that we were against it, but the Liberian people, they voted the way they voted. That's why we're seeing. Donna Curtis just said, yeah, we need strong Liberian women to stand firm, especially when it comes to the election, for us to start to talk and speak, to direct our people in the right direction in how to vote people into power, to change the country for the betterment of the people that are there, even for us as we go in and out. Liberians, so it can be, ease in and ease out, and our country will be booming. Because when Liberia is great, we all feel proud, whether you live there or not. So there where I am, Leon, but I never saw your comment going on, and that's why I did not read it. I even saw Michael say something. I didn't. Yeah, Michael. I would just read Michael comment quickly because that would be my any statement. Because we are about to leave here. We don't stay here. We stay here until at least 1 hour 30 minutes. We usually say 1 hour 15, but you're not carry also. So Michael said there were little standards prior. There were little standards prior to the war, and unfortunately, during the war, qualified Liberians were either killed, ran into exile, or have placed themselves in counter qualified positions due to the prevailing conditions. There are qualified teachers who have left the classroom due to the threats from ex-combatants turned students.
Yeah.
These qualified teachers and administrators are pursuing either professional careers. These and other reasons have left, especially our school, with with more unqualified people. And they still more unqualified people. Yeah, they ran the qualified people out of Liberia because the people saw that bullying was the way out. They bully the people, Liberians, especially the intelligent ones. We don't, people intelligent, they don't like to go back and forth with words and yelling and screaming. So when you do like that, and then they just, remove themselves from the situation. In any country, intelligent people, we sit down and we have a conversation where I can talk, and then I sit and I allow you to talk. But if the people start to do that bullying and screaming, most people who really know themselves and have gone to school and are qualified, and I have the experience as well, and come from a decent background, they would just like remove themselves from the situation. And that's how Liberia went into this mess, because people were not willing, the qualified people were not willing to go through that foolishness. They were not willing to fight. Most of them, they already killed their parents, and they watched the war, and their parents were murdered in front of them. Some of them, their parents were shot before the war on the poles and stuff, and they were not willing to go. Some of them here, they don't even be bothered with none of this. They were not willing to go into these things. But as we see, as time goes by, we see what's going on in the country now. We cannot just sit and watch. We cannot not speak. We have to, if we love Liberia as Liberians, for us to save our country, we have to start talking, and we have to start pointing things out for Liberia to go in the right direction. So there where we are. So this is the end of the show. We thank you guys for watching. And we come here every Sunday at 7 p.m. Split Talk, the non-generation. We are Lawani Women, Liberian Advocacy Network International. We come here and just talk social issues on Sunday. So this was one of the topic that somebody asked us to speak on. So this is why we are speaking on it. If you have anything you want us to speak on, you can inbox Vera myself. We'll look into it. We'll come here. We'll speak on Sunday. Maybe we'll have people like Michael, or maybe Musu can come on with us on Sunday, or we can invite Jean again to come on. So we can talk about these things. This was a beautiful conversation today. So we thank you guys for watching, Vera.
Let's continue it.
Yeah. Yeah, or we can continue the conversation, but we have to speak. So have a nice Sunday, and have a nice rest of your week. Make sure you're, doing the right thing. God bless you all. Have a nice day. I'll just play our music before we get out of here. And that would be it for today. I love you guys.
Attention business
God,
owners.
Jesus.
To help you through the current situation, we're offering you a free copy.
They should help me to do my stuff.
African woman, confident woman, a special woman, beautiful woman. I cannot deny African women, they strong. She's on fire. She's a blessing for my home. A cultural woman. She is a royal woman. A loving and caring mother. Hey, Mama Africa. She did for Zambia. She did for Zimbabwe. She did for Senegal. Mama Africa. Black is beautiful. So beautiful. So adorable, what a beauty to behold. Black is beautiful, black is beautiful, so adorable, what a beauty to behold. African woman, confident woman, a special woman, beautiful woman. I'm loving her vibing. Beautiful woman, she is enticing. She is enticing. Strong African woman.
African women are strong.
She is a full package.
Beautiful as well. They're full package. Liberia, Nigeria, Nigeria. They put call like brand new first. They look like brand women.
Brand need to care about first.
Eh?
So, I said that's all I brand need to put to first.
We don't forget Nigeria, Ghana, Somalia, Angola.
Black is beautiful,
so beautiful,
so adorable, you know. What a beauty to be. So y'all, thanks for watching. Have a blessed Sunday evening. Go and have your nice dinner and call it a day. Bye.